Hey, what's up everybody? This is Kincade from Push, and today I'm going to teach you how to do a frontside underflip 540 on your snowboard, both with your regular stance and switch. The underflip is a super fun trick to have in your arsenal, both switch and regular, and it's not too difficult if you have the prerequisites. I believe I landed an underflip on my third or fourth try when I was first learning them. It obviously took me a little longer than that to start getting grabs, get them looking a little better, and get them more consistent. But overall, the trick is not too difficult. Really, if you're going regular, it just ties together a backflip and a frontside 180. And if you're switch, it feels like a cab 1 with a backflip. So if you want to learn an underflip with your dominant foot forward, you're going to want to have a backflip or wildcat dialed, as well as a frontside 1, probably a frontside 3, because on a frontside 1, you don't really have to know how to edge in properly. But by the time you're doing 360s, you do. So I would say have your frontside 360s and your backflips dialed. Now, if you're going switch, it's the opposite. You need your switch front 1s and your switch front 3s dialed in. You don't need to know how to do a switch backflip. The switch underflip is honestly way easier than a switch backflip because you ride out regular. As long as you're comfortable going upside down, the switch underflip doesn't feel very unnatural because right after the takeoff, you're at 90 degrees and it turns into your kind of standard backflip. So if you're going switch, you're going to want to have just a normal backflip dialed as well as switch frontside spins. So if you don't have these prerequisites yet, I do already have tutorials for these on the website if you need to learn your backflips and your frontside spins. So I'll go ahead and put them in the related tutorials section on the website. If you're watching this on YouTube, feel free to head over to the website so you can see that related tutorials section. Alright, so you've got your prerequisites down and you are ready to learn the underflip. I learned on a park jump, and if you're comfortable flipping a park jump, I would recommend a park jump. If not, go out and build a jump with your friends into some soft snow or whatever you prefer for flips. But for your first try, I'd recommend nothing too big, 15 to 20 feet, kind of the smaller jump in whatever park you're riding. I'll put a video on screen of my first underflip and my first switch underflip so you can see what sort of size jumps I was first learning them on, and then I took them to jumps that were a little bit bigger. So let's talk about the technique and how this trick is done. Really, every bit of the difficulty in an underflip is in the takeoff. This is what I struggled with and what most people I know have struggled with learning this trick. Your tendency is to spin too early and not pop, and that makes this trick really, really hard. You end up washing your first 90 in the takeoff and not popping. So you're super low to the ground, it's easy to knuckle. So really, you gotta focus on that frontside S-carve, just like you're doing a front 3. You wanna be on your heel edge as you're taking off, but so straight off the takeoff. You do not want to pre-spin this trick. You're gonna take off with your knees a little bit bent, and you're on that heel edge going straight up the lip. And right as you're leaving the lip, you start to pop, and then once you feel yourself leaving the jump, you can take your front shoulder and turn it towards your landing. Take your back hand and grab indie. You obviously don't have to do this your first try, but after you've done 1 or 2 of these, you'll find that that indie grab really locks you in and makes you comfortable in the air. So that's what I would recommend. You take your front shoulder, open it up towards the landing, grab indie, and then just keep looking over. You're essentially going to be flipping straight over, like you're going to be perpendicular to the way you actually want to land throughout almost the whole flip. It's kind of like you start off by taking off, turning a 90, and then initiating the flip, so you're completely sideways, perpendicular to your landing. And then as that flip comes around, once you spot your landing, you can continue that rotation and start taking your back shoulder and then turning it towards your landing, so that if you took off regular, you're landing switch, and if you took off switch, you're going to land regular. I want to clarify that this trick really is one fluid motion. It's not necessarily a 90, a flip, and a 90, but when learning, it's a really good way to think about it, and that is what the trick feels like. As you watch it back and get better at them, you'll realize you can do it all in one smooth motion. On screen now are a couple clips of when I was first learning my underflips, and as you can tell, I was kind of washing out and not completing the rotation, and that's because I wasn't opening enough at the beginning of the trick. As you can see, my shoulder's still kind of closed, and I'm doing a backflip just a little bit turned. You want to be pretty much, like I said, perpendicular to that landing, so that as the flip comes around, you just have 90 to turn instead of over 90. It's harder to take that back shoulder and bring it around forward if you didn't get that initial setup right. So focus on your takeoff, like I said. In most spin tricks or tricks that combine flips and spins, you tend to land on an edge, but with underflips, I find that you actually kind of land on your tail. You kind of put that back foot down first, slap the nose down, and ride away. I'll put up a clip right now from last spring where I did underflip to switch underflip in a line. The speed was pretty bad, but all season I'd wanted to do that line and I just hadn't for whatever reason, so I was pretty happy to put those 2 tricks together. It's kind of nice to be able to do it both ways. So guys, I think that pretty much sums up how you underflip and switch underflip on a snowboard. I really hope you found this tutorial helpful. Once you get comfortable with it, start taking it to a little bit bigger jumps. Notice that since you're grabbing and pretty tucked, you can't control the speed quite as well as like a laid out backflip, so you really have to time it well off the takeoff as you take this to bigger features. But you can spot your landing pretty dang early in this trick, so you can release that grab and put out the landing gears a little earlier if you need to. Best of luck with this trick. Leave me a comment on the website if you have any questions, and I will be sure to get back to you soon. I will be back soon with another tutorial.